feel like my future is bright, you know, and I mean, my future is my life, right? So whatever I'll do, that's up to me, you know. So might as well just do my best. If it works out, nice. If it doesn't, nice. I have done my part of, you know.
True.
What you
So
can.
yeah, and I'm super optimistic. Like we'll have like Bugattis at some point, you know.
Indeed.
I believe in that.
Bugatti is a shoe.
No,
Dude,
it's a
Bugatti.
it's a
Oh,
car. It's a
It's a car.
It's like a
Okay,
Ferrari,
okay,
so-
thanks, guys.
Also, Rick, to build up on your statement of failure, I often regard failure as success because you have figured out one more way to not mess up in your
Yeah.
life.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Because me, I feel like, you know what, if like I'm 23 now, right? Let's say, for example, what's the average? People die at like 80 or what?
That's 75,
75.
80, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we have time.
Salam and hello, everyone. My name is Lilly Piper, and welcome to the show. So, we are continuing our conversation with Gen Z. We have 4 young men with us today: Philo, Rick, Thomas, and Silas. 4 creatives, all in the creative industry in different ways. They're friends, they work together at times, they have created together. And we sat down to have a conversation about what it is like to be 23 or 19 or 18 today in Nairobi, Kenya. What they think about politics, the leadership they're seeing out there, their futures, what makes them anxious, who do they get advice from? So, this is part 2 of our conversation. They had a lot to say, and I'm really glad that you tuned back in to hear all about it. So, welcome to the conversation with Gen Z. Okay, when older people ask you blank, it drives you crazy. Just fill in the blank on this one. When older people ask you blank, it just drives you crazy. Is there a trigger for you from other
What are you
generations?
doing for college?
What are you doing for college? Okay.
You have to watch the news because, you know, you can't just live like that, you know?
What are you doing with your life?
Even that one.
That's that attack.
See, guys,
Yeah.
guys,
That's an
remember-
attack.
That's
and
the
if you're
worst.
if you're like in the artist, or maybe you're doing film, you're doing some like something artistic, most of our people don't understand it and if you're not saying what you're doing, just believe I'm doing something. What are you doing? Just see you going, coming. What are you doing? No.
It doesn't feel like legit work
Yeah.
because it's not in an office or.
Yeah, you know, the one that you go after school, graduate, get a job in the office. That's what they know as work.
Be careful when you go outside. I cannot take that.
What do you mean, like when you go out?
Yeah, like, Thomas, be careful when you go outside, okay? Don't talk to people. I'm like, Mom, I know.
Okay, if someone wants to motivate you, they should blank.
Offer money.
That's a good one.
Will
that's a
work
good
for
one,
money.
yeah. Motivate. Like, just don't ask questions.
Leave
Like,
you alone or what?
Yeah. Because especially old people, right? Those old people.
Older.
Yeah,
I didn't say older.
Older
Older.
people.
Yeah.
Older people really like just giving you their opinion. You know, like it should be like this. No, it shouldn't be like this. Maybe that's how you do it.
It feels
But-
like they're trying to take you for a fool.
Yeah,
Yeah. I hate that so much.
just leave me.
So leave a little
If you really,
space.
if you're supporting what I'm doing, then like help me. Don't like criticize. You know.
So offer money, not advice.
Yeah,
That might be the title of
Offer
this
money.
episode. Offer money, not advice.
I take money over
Okay.
advice.
Okay, a couple more rapid fire questions.
Thank you.
What makes you angry?
When someone underestimates my potential.
Yes.
What makes me angry is like when I have no control over something. Say like the best example, the government. It makes me so angry, but I'm not doing
Government.
anything about it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
So not doing anything about it. Did you vote?
no.
You did not vote.
No.
Philo, you're also of voting age.
I did vote.
You did vote.
But I think it never helped.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask Thomas if he voted, then I want to hear you. Thomas, were you voting age at the last election?
I was, but I didn't get my ID in time. But even if
Ah.
I got it, I still would have not have voted because I would not waste my vote on an administration that would be the same as the previous. Yeah.
Okay. And Silas, I know you were not voting age at the last election, so I won't ask. So I actually want to talk about this for just a split second and hear why you believe what you believe. So Rick, let's start with you. You did not vote. Why? Tell me why.
Because that's wasting time.
Why is it wasting time?
Because there's, no one's gonna make a change. I feel like if it's because it's the same people, same administration, same everything. Like, what's gonna be different? Like, my parents voted like 10 years ago. They voted their whole lives, and then what? There's no change.
You don't see
Like,
any
I don't
improvement
think.
in
Yeah,
life
yeah. So it's
outcomes.
like, what's the point,
I
right?
mean, inflation is horrible now.
Yeah,
But
what's
I
the
do want to
point?
ask you, if everyone adopted this principle of I'm not going to vote because nothing is going to change, what do you think would happen to the society as a whole? And I want to ask you the same question, Thomas. So be prepared.
Uh, okay, here's what I think. Yeah, if we just had different people running like for office, with great views about like changing how things go, just if it was just some like a new batch of people, I would vote.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is like, wait, like if we check for like how many years now, it's like the same people are in
Sure.
Since
to this
independence.
day,
Okay. So Philo, you did vote.
Mm.
Tell me why.
It's just a friend thing. We just decided to go and vote.
As your
For
friend group.
starters, we never voted before.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Last time you were able to, but you did it. It was it would have been 5 years ago. You would have been
Yeah.
just old enough, huh?
Yeah, but we just voted this year.
Okay.
But the thing is, the government is not just doing the right thing to the people. If one day you wake up at 5 a.m., just Kenya, guys are waking up to cook mandazi, guys are going to be policemen, guys, like Kenya is a working nation, but the government is just not doing the right thing. That's the worst part. Kenya as a country is a good country, like a hardworking country, but the government is stalling all the efforts. That's what I feel.
What do you feel like is your role in that ecosystem? Do you feel like you have power to change
Yeah, you
it?
can just do. There's a little you can do, but you feel like it will not happen. Even if you try, it will just. It's like there's like a sky limit. Just reach there, come down. Because you'll do your thing on the ground, try to mobilize guys to do this, but it won't reach to the right voices, or it will reach there and they do whatever they think is right for them.
Okay, interesting. Thomas, so
And-
you said you would have if you did not get your ID in time, so you didn't vote, but you wouldn't have anyways because
the administration is the same as the previous. It's the same
same
old
thing,
story,
same.
same old propaganda that they keep giving out. And it's always to the best of their interests, not to the interests of the people. I mean, people may term that as communism, but I feel there should be a more socialist element of democracy where people should be given equal opportunities. Because one thing that people really underestimate, which also makes me angry, is the potential that people have in society, in the economy, to actually make a better world, a better country, and all that stuff. And it's just so depressing. But I feel I'm very optimistic, though. I feel that that change will come. There's always a revolution, not a violent revolution, a peaceful revolution that will somewhat institute or instigate some sort of renaissance in culture and in the economy and somewhat reform the ideology that people should be under some kind of government that oppresses them. That's not how it should be.
do you feel like you have power to improve society?
Yes,
You as a person?
in my own way. In the end, we are one. It will all culminate to the greater good, but it's not going to be immediate. It's going to take a long time.
Okay. All right. Silas, so give your thoughts of just do you feel like you have power to affect structural
Yes,
change?
I think so. Yeah, I think when citizens like as a whole like think they have power, that's when they have power. You know,
That's true.
it's not when like people think that kind of like separate themselves from the general population. That's when like it kind of becomes weakened.
Yeah, true.
A couple more kind of quick questions. What makes you anxious?
My future. We live in an age where it's very difficult to somewhat predict who you'll be in the future because there's so many opportunities, so many ways about going about one's life, where it is so easy to lose your steps and fall, and it's very difficult to get back up again. And there's so much deception also in society. There are things that are so good that they are not, like they're too good to be true, and all that stuff. And it's very, at times, very bewildering. So
Mm.
it's very difficult. So that's what promotes anxiety. That's what I'm really afraid of, losing my foot in life, because I know that all this didn't come from nowhere. I had my parents, I had society, I had my friends, I had institutional setups helping me to be where I would be today, and just to lose it all due
Mm.
to the uncertainty of today's future,
Mm.
just a waste. Yeah,
Mm. Thank you for that. That's a lot.
thanks.
That's interesting.
I summarize it all.
Yeah,
It's a
you agree with
summary.
that, Philo?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, true. Because also sometimes it's like, especially like in a creative scene, um, you see people who have been doing what you're doing, and they really love what they're doing, and we can say maybe they haven't gotten to where they want to, and it's not like they've done anything wrong. It's just like, but then you also can't think like that, because maybe it's gonna work out for you. But you see, the thing, like, you don't know,
The uncertainty of
because
it.
right now you
Yeah.
don't know if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, and yeah, it just kind of
Mm,
gives you that
mm,
anxiety.
mm. How do you see you and your peers taking care of their mental health, and how much of that it feels like a constant in your conversations or the way that you're taking care of it, or even on a weekend, is it common that you would be like, hey, let's get together, and somebody maybe like, no, I'm down this weekend. How much does mental health and your well-being play into your day-to-day life and thoughts and interactions?
So even to start with, we have something with the artist I work with called, like, it's called Bigiasa. So him in high school, he used to go through stuff. He used to be chased out a lot. Then it affected him. So we started with him and we were gonna start something like a high school tour on mental health, because we believe like it starts there, mostly in boarding schools in Kenya. So we have something called Youth Clan. Now it's gonna be registered as a CBO, and then we're gonna do like tours with the young guys who, after the talks, we call people who can talk to the kids. After the talks, they perform to them, so it's like an exchange. Then he tells them the experience. So I believe mental health is important, and we're
Yeah.
gonna push it.
That's amazing. I mean, I think that's something different from what previous generations. Definitely, we're not starting CBOs to talk about mental health in high schools.
I think, let's say I'm feeling down. I don't feel bad. Like, I can just literally just call someone, like, yo, I'm actually not. I'm not bonita, right? And yeah, because everyone has the their downtimes, and I think the more important thing is, like, having people around you,
Yeah.
right? Like, people you can actually uh talk to, like your close circle.
Yeah.
And once you have that, I feel like, if you can't really talk to your close circle about, I'm feeling like this, then yeah, that's not you need
But
to.
then, Rick, there's that
Uh-huh.
issue of what will they think?
Yeah, but then if they're like a close friend, you're not supposed to be thinking of that. Like, they think
Yeah.
what they'll think. I'm just telling you how I'm
Makes
feeling.
sense, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's that issue of especially towards men, where if you show your feelings and if you show your insecurities and you show your inner deeper feelings, it can be seen as being weak, and where people can kind of like take you for a fool once again in that regard, where they will not take you seriously because they do not think that you're capable of actually being sad or being hopeless or being depressed in certain aspects of life, because we're not perfect human beings. We will go through things, we will experience things that we would not like, and which will negatively affect our view of the world and of life. And we also need some sense of understanding from people that is not that weakness is strength. So it's very important people take hint of that and actually embrace weakness as strength. to that
Mm.
extent.
Let me ask you, do you feel like the language around mental health, being able to say, I need help, or this feels as though, do you feel like that's a culture you came up in, that you were hearing that from teachers, parents, other adults in your lives? Were they giving you those skills when you were growing up? Is that something that you're getting more from your peers?
I think it's definitely peers.
Peers.
Peers,
Peers, 100%,
because
yes.
growing up, mental health is
Yeah.
about drug abuse. Like,
Yeah.
just new mental health is like someone who abuses drugs. So,
More of a vague placeholder
Yeah.
to make them look like they are actually advocating for that. But
Hmm.
yeah,
So you guys
Now
are
it's
educating
different.
yourselves as you
Yeah.
are also
Mhm.
managing your own mental health and looking
Yes.
out for friends. You're also finding those tools for yourselves. Interesting. That's a
Yeah.
lot to carry.
Yeah. Do parents talk about mental health really?
no.
Mm.
To
Sure,
be
man.
honest.
No,
Yeah?
I don't
Nah,
think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Mm.
So
A few
it's-
of them, I mean.
Maybe,
but,
yeah, there is. But I think, everything about, for example, you know how you're saying it's hard to like talk to someone maybe because of the perception, of being weak. If you realize that, then you need to like, now that's up to you. You need to change it yourself. And
Mhm.
if it's also the same thing with your circle, like you're like, yeah, we actually need to change this
Yes.
because
100%.
that's not how it should be. Yeah.
Few more questions and then we'll start to wrap it up, because I've had you all here for a long time. So thank you for
all right.
sticking with me.
You're welcome.
I want to ask another couple rapid fire questions. And in this instance, I want you to think about who is going to influence the question I'm going to ask you, parents or friends. So your answer for this question is either who's the greatest influence, parents or friends, for the different categories I'm going to call out. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Who you date or partner with, parents or friends?
Friends.
Friends.
Who do you?
Date. Parents or friends influence?
Oh, friends.
But may I say, if it reaches a point, you need to show your parents.
Parents, I do not let my friends get in the way of such. But when it comes to the family, because what if we actually develop it into something greater than it actually is?
Now, when it gets there,
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let me
when it
change it
gets there,
to, maybe marriage. Does your generation believe in marriage?
I don't.
Oh, that's clear. Rick does not. Okay.
I personally believe in marriage because it's a big part of society, but only when you actually understand the needs of your partner and that you understand that you're no better than them and they're no better than you, and you come to a collective compromise that you're in this together, and that yes, there will be bad times and good times, but in the end, one's love for each other will trump over all those. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
Philo, what about you? Do you see marriage as something that you aspire to or want to have?
it's not like a spy, but I will.
Oh, okay. Not aspire to, but you will.
it's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, you
that.
have to.
Why is it inevitable?
I need to have someone who can like ground me down. Just
Yeah, we all
Okay.
need each other.
So
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
it. You want it in your life.
yeah,
Yeah.
at some point.
You want a partner. Okay, okay. Silas, what about you? You're still quite young, 18, but what do you think about the institution of marriage generally?
I think it's in like, if you're looking at it from how I think a lot of Gen Z people think of it.
Hmm.
There's kind of like a modern notion that like you do what makes you happy, like as long as you're okay with it.
Yes,
blah,
do
blah,
what
blah,
makes
blah.
you happy. Yeah, for sure.
And I think Gen Z is as opposed to other generations are like less inclined to marriage.
Mhm.
But I think it's something that can make your life easier. Like you have it embedded.
But
support
imagine
system.
seeing
No,
this
but like
You have a what?
the
What was the last
aspect
thing
of
you said?
marriage,
like a
It's not
support system.
Support
things
system.
Support
can pass
system,
on
yes.
20 years, 50 years.
but
Wake
like
up.
the concept of like marriage itself.
Concept of marriage is a bit flawed because
Yeah,
it's
it's
based
super
on some
flawed.
very patriarchal and matriarchal things which may not resonate with the current generation. But the core elements of it are what stand up, such as what you said, the support system, the element of friendship, the element of also convenience in the regard that you can always reach out to somebody and they'll always be there for you, and some sort of replacement for your family or for your mother or father, It's very important, but generally, yeah, it depends on how you look at it. It's very variable.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So again, who's the greatest influence? Parents or friends? When you're taking a job,
Friends.
Friends.
Friends, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Friends.
Friends.
this is getting a little personal here, but okay. Okay, financial decisions. And we're going to say minor financial decisions, not a purchase of a home or something like
Oh,
that, but,
okay.
minor financial decisions. Friends or parents?
None. I
I'll
don't
let
know.
none of them get
is,
in the way.
Independent, huh?
Any will. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still young, man.
I've changed. Okay. So here's one: health decisions. Let's say you're feeling like I'm not sleeping enough, or maybe I should start working out differently, or da da da. Who's going to influence how you take care of yourself? Parents or friends?
Parents, because they took care of me first to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
parents were like,
I don't know. Can we add doctors there?
We could add medical
Yeah, for
professionals.
sure,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Philo, how about for you?
Yeah,
Parents.
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 Parents,
Okay.
yes.
How about when you're having conflict with somebody else? Who are you going to for advice or counsel?
friends.
Parents, and even more personally, my dad. He'll tell me what to do for sure. He's the ultimate diplomat.
What about our person without parents? Where will he go?
Yeah, where will they go? Other adults older than you, or more
Caregivers.
your peers?
Your peers, yeah, your peers.
Peers.
But then the
Okay.
thing is, like, parents are really, they're very, they will, what's the word?
Just say it. Just say it. Don't be diplomatic like Thomas.
There's
Just
a,
say
there's
it.
like they can, like I can go to like a parent, but they'll give you an answer with their own,
Filter or
yeah, this is how it should be. So
Yeah.
Also known as a lecture.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And then how about when it comes to your future? Are you seeking the advice of peers or other adult or older adults?
And also, other elders always have something to say about your future. There's always that.
And that was one of the things that was making somebody angry earlier. So maybe it's definitely the peers for the future.
I find it hard to like ask from, let's say, your parents or older folk
Mm.
because things are just very different from their time and our time.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, so I can give you sketchy advice or like the best advice, but it just doesn't work at this time.
My thing,
you know.
my take is, the future and the past need to connect.
Mhm.
Now, if you're
Yes.
older, you need to listen to the young ones so you know about the future. And if you're young, you need to listen to, like, it's something that is
Goes both
interconnected.
ways, yes.
Because you can't grow without both of them.
Yeah.
That's good. I like
And,
that.
and also in regard to what you said of what we said that people guys should not really be too inquisitive. Yes, they can be inquisitive. They can educate us. They can tell us about how life is from their end, but they shouldn't really impose those elements or those things on us to that extent.
Okay. Last two questions. And I promise I'll let you go. What do we misunderstand about your generation? What do we just get wrong in the media, the press, when you see people talking about you or you overhear people, or particularly in the media? What do we misunderstand?
That we are rude and rebellious.
Hmm.
You're not that
Especially rebellious.
rebellious. Yes.
Rebellious.
Just because I want to do something different from how you do it doesn't mean, I'm trying to be, rebellious. Yeah.
Pretty much, yes.
We're also lazy.
Yes,
Maybe they
laziness.
think we don't listen, but we have selective hearing, maybe.
Yeah, that one.
Selective
That we
hearing.
don't
Who do you listen to?
It's not like what they're saying. We listen to them, but we pick,
What to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And then I guess lastly, how do you feel about your future? Just lastly, Thomas, you already mentioned about how that is something that makes you anxious. But as you look at yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, what do you see for your future?
I could say both ways. I'm anxious, yes, still, but hopeful. I know that if I go a certain road and if I listen to my instincts and if I also employ selective hearing in that regard of listening to my peers and also people older than me, because it's important to incorporate all those realms of reasoning, then I feel I'll be on the right path. Just don't do anything stupid. Focus on yourself, help people where you can, and believe in yourself, and you'll be okay. That's what I abide by.
Silas, how about you? What do you feel about your future?
I'm very excited for my future. Very, very excited.
Why?
Because for many reasons, but also because independence.
Yeah, independence,
Freedom.
freedom.
Okay.
Exactly.
Philo, how about you?
Yeah. Just think of being successful in whatever I do. If I just be consistent in every small thing that I do, that will lead up to a big thing.
Hmm.
I think for me, What do you think about my future?
Yeah, how do you feel about your
How do I
future?
feel about it? I feel like my future is bright, you know, and I mean, my future is my life, right? So whatever I'll do, that's up to me, you know. So might as well just do my best. If it works out, nice. If it doesn't, nice. I have done my part. You know.
Do
True.
what you
So
can.
yeah, and I'm super optimistic. Like we'll have like Bugattis at some point, you know.
Indeed.
I believe in
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Bugatti is a shoe.
No, it's
Dude,
it's a
Bugatti.
it's a
Oh,
car. It's a
It's a car.
It's like a
Okay,
Ferrari,
Okay,
isn't it?
thanks, guys.
Also, Rick, to build up on your statement of failure, I often regard failure as success because you have figured out one more way to not mess up in your
Yeah,
life.
Excellent. That's
yeah.
excellent.
Because me, I feel
Oh,
like
see.
you know what?
Yeah,
If like I'm 23 now, right? Let's say for example, what's the average? People die at like 80 or what?
70,
90?
75,
75.
80, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we have time. I
Plenty
feel
of
like
time.
I want to do everything I feel like doing with my life.
Okay, give me one or two things. Each of you think of one or two things that you're like, I got to do this in my life.
Fly, like get a
What do you mean?
PPL license, like fly a
Okay,
plane,
fly a
Kinda,
plane. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
and
What
maybe
else?
like a cruise, like take like a what's it called, like a catamaran, and
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
you know, like do the Pacific Ocean.
Yours are very adventure oriented. Okay, I like that. Okay. Philo, how about for you? What's one or two things on your bucket list?
Huh?
One or two things on your bucket list. So you're like, I got to do this sometime in my life.
Gotta touch all the fashion shows.
Like
Nice.
Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, all
Like,
over.
okay. What
Yeah.
else?
Mm. Just need to have a good home. Good home.
A good home. Like that.
Bucket list, more or less, it's kind of philosophical, but I want to wake up one day in my later years and realize that whatever I did in my life was not in vain. And secondly, maybe for now, maybe climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I'd like to do that.
Okay.
He's done Mount Kenya, by the way.
Me too. I've also done Mount Kenya.
Oh,
Congratulations.
we can
That's
shoot a
right.
video there.
Good
Nice.
job.
We could
I
actually.
like it.
We could.
Silas, did you discuss?
It's all right.
Okay,
Yeah, I
Silas.
forgot.
I won't like disclose some of them, but a couple too probably is be a father.
Oh, that's so
Aw.
cute.
Yeah, the guy.
Hey,
Papa
man.
Silas.
Papa Silas, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'll say for now.
That's a big one.
Beautiful. I love that.
Okay,
First
so
dad.
I like it. I like that idea. What's one thing you want to say to the boomers, to the Gen X generations above you?
We're not just like doing nothing. We're actually trying. You know, we're trying to become like better people. We're trying to make a life out of ourselves. So yeah, we're actually doing something.
Mm.
Honestly, yeah.
I was gonna say like take us serious because we're like, every there should be a hope that like every generation's better than the last. So there should be because a humankind should be improving, So in some ways we also overtake.
Mm.
For me, follow your instincts and do not alienate important people in your life. I mean, yeah, in today's age, there are certain people who will come to you saying, "Yo, I can do this for you. I can help you in this." But stay true to the people who brought you from where you are, from where you came from.
I'll say we're not rebellious, but we just do whatever we feel is right for us.
Hmm.
So interesting. What you're saying sounds exactly like rebellion.
I wish I had said that to him.
Yes. Exactly what we feel like.
But that's what you're supposed to be doing, though. You know?
Look at him. He looks so shocked. He's like, what? No.
But yeah, that's what I felt.
Really, that's what you feel.
Wait, and what about your generation? What do you have to tell
would we
us?
have said?
Yeah, that's a good question. What do we want to tell you?
I was still rebellious.
I think I would want to tell you two things, actually. I would want to tell you that the world cannot be everything you want it to be, that it cannot be as flexible as you want it to be, or as malleable. I just feel like your generation is demanding, not the. I love what you're demanding in terms of like the diversity, the inclusion. Like I love that you're like everybody's welcome, but I think like the things around, for example, like work hours. I want to work from home when I want to work. I want to show up this way. I want like some of the rules that I think that do help societies go are there for a reason. And I do feel like your generation is asking a little much, a little quick. I'm not saying you in this room. I'm just saying I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting from this
I
generation.
agree. I agree. Things are getting a bit
So,
plastic by the day, so it's
I'm
important
like
to
the
also.
flexibility maybe you want. And I think the other thing I would just say is that also to trust a little bit in the community and the generation ahead of you. I think similarly to what you were saying about not being wanting to discount it as like lazy or whatever. I do think like the selective hearing. I think probably every generation feels this way, but I do feel like we are angst ridden by a generation that we also have seen all the social media come up and all this. And we, I think, are the first generation like of parents, I will say, that have ever had to raise kids with social media, with digital age, with so many influences that I feel like we didn't know what we were doing either. So it's like, oh my, we are also hoping that we didn't mess everything up and mess this whole generation up. So I think there's like this need to be, give us grace and also like let us continue to communicate because we were not expecting this avalanche of change that happened in one generation. Yeah, we were not ready for that. I was not ready. I'll just speak for myself, so yeah.
And I have another one.
Mm,
Like, what's the difference between like your age group?
yeah,
Right, you're
I'm 47.
okay, boomer.
I'm not a boomer, I'm
Nah,
a
nah, nah,
Gen
yeah,
X.
you're not,
Wow.
you're not. Yeah, I was just. But like, yeah, what's the like a difference between you and like your parents?
Massive. But I think that is also a difference of immigration and all that, because I was born in Ethiopia, but then immigrated to the US. So there's very hard to compare. My parents who were born and raised like barefoot in the village that had to immigrate all of a sudden under a communist regime and live in a country they never wanted to live in, speak a language they never wanted to speak, even though they learned English in school. You know what I mean? There were so many demands on them that I don't know if that's what makes the generation gap or if it's our generation. I always ask my guests on my show 2 questions as we wrap up. And my first one is, what's your favorite drink? You can say whatever you like. I see you all looking around feeling nervous. Say whatever you like. People have said a lot of different things on this show.
My favorite drink, I know I'll catch flack because it's a soft drink, but I love Sprite. It's really good.
You
It's
like
it's
Sprite.
neither between Coke or Fanta or anywhere. It's just balanced.
It's just
beautiful.
Sprite. Okay.
If it's a soft drink, I'll say Stony.
Stony's a solid choice. But you said if it's a soft drink, it doesn't have to be a soft drink. It can be
Ah,
whatever you
Dasalano.
like.
Dasalano.
What's
What?
that?
Dasalano.
I don't know that
What's
drink.
that?
Yeah, no, you should check it out.
Okay,
I don't know, right?
I'll have to find this.
It's a calm drink. It's just a calm when you
Calm
like
drink, yeah.
you put it with some mango juice.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You've introduced me to something new. Fantastic. Okay, Rich, how about you? Favorite drink?
I like cocktails with gin,
Gin cocktails. I like that. That's very specific. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sai.
but I like lemonades also.
Sorry.
Lemonades.
And iced coffee.
A nice coffee. So you're a beverage guy. This is you have a list now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iced
Uh,
coffee.
I like Crest. Bitter lemon.
Okay.
All right. So
That's
you and
a-
Thomas over there.
that's
with the bitter lemon
controversial, but
sauce
okay.
spread.
Nah, bitter lemon is good. I like Sprite as well.
Okay.
But I like it when like it fights back against me.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
And my last question I ask every guest here, this show, we talk about joy and justice in Africa and the diaspora. Definitely, this conversation was very joyful. I feel like I have
Indeed.
learned, I have grown, you
Thank
given me a
you.
lot to think about. So I want to know, what is bringing each of you joy today? What is bringing you joy?
Personally, just completing one task. Like I came here, did something.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's very personal, but I like being around close people, like people I like. Yeah, so that's today. What's bringing me joy
Yeah.
today? Yeah, just having you guys around. Yeah.
For me, without a shadow of a doubt, doing what I love.
Which is?
Photography and filmmaking in the arts, yes. Whenever I'm doing that, I feel complete.
Yeah, I was the same. So like I was writing before I came, so it gave me joy.
Writing,
We love the
Music.
grind. We love the grind.
it's giving you joy.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here. You know, your generation has a lot to teach us, a lot to offer us, and I'm so grateful that you gave us time today for our listeners. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And listeners, let us know what you think. You know, this episode was inspired by your feedback. So is it slide into our DMs? Slide into our DMs. Let us know what you thought about our wonderful guest today. If you have more questions for them, maybe we can pass those on and get them to come on a live or something and get their further thoughts. But we would love to hear from you. So you can contact us through our socials at Selam and Hello on IG, Twitter, Facebook. You can always email me or Rahma or Becky. It's lily@selamandhello.com or producer@selamandhello.com. And please rate the show. We really appreciate your ratings and your reviews. It really helps the show a lot. And until we meet next time, take care of yourself.
You don't need to try. Every time you smile, summer in your eyes.